Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I have about 2 months that I don't make a video, and it is due to, besides me adjusting to being a mom of two under two, it is my oldest son had 2 viruses within 3 weeks. Then my youngest son had some type of congestion that consisted of him not being able to breathe and his chest going up and down really fast, that I had to take him to the hospital. So there was a lot of like medical things going on, so I haven't been able to record, so I apologize for that, but I'm going to try and be a little bit more consistent with my videos. But I'm gonna try and do it for you guys, especially because I want my channel to be up and coming, and I want to help out whoever I can help out with my channel. And I've had a couple of people that I bumped into, and they're like, when are you putting another video? Like, I was so excited when you said that you were gonna make a YouTube. So that encouraged me to get back on here and start making some more videos for you guys. So today's video, someone in my first video had asked me to do a video about how I found out I was pregnant and basically my reaction to me being pregnant. But before I tell you guys the story about that, I want to go back in my history a little bit, because me personally, I've had a couple of bad experiences before I had a successful pregnancy with my oldest, which is Jaden. So me and my boyfriend have been together for 7 years, since 2011 officially. We met in 2010. And we were one of those couples that were like, yeah, we want to have a kid together. Like, that was our initial like chemistry towards each other. Like, it's more to it, which I will do in another video, because it's more complicated than just, oh hey, you know, I met him, we fell in love, we were trying to have a baby, we have a baby, now we have a family. It's way more complicated than that. Like, I should have my own TV show of how complicated my life is, but I will get more into detail about that in some other videos. So we were one of those couples that we knew off the bat that, you know, we really liked each other, we were very attracted to each other, and that we wanted to have a family together. So we didn't like try and get pregnant like as soon as we had sex, but a few, maybe I'll say like a year or two after being together, we were trying to purposely get pregnant. So I got pregnant my first time, and it was one of those pregnancies that I was a little confused, because I was late, but I was also like spotting and bleeding at the same time. But it was something that was a little bit more painful than my usual routine. I had gone to go get checked out, and they had told me that I was having a miscarriage. So boom, that was the first time. I had told them, hey, this and that happened, whatever. And we tried a second time, and I got pregnant the second time. I was about 4 weeks. A week later, I started spotting again. So I was like, damn, like, this is not happening. And when I started spotting, it just got worse, and after it got worse, I came to realize that I was having another miscarriage. So we, like I said, we're trying, and we kept trying, and it got to the point where so much was happening that I was just so emotionally frustrated that he was like, yeah, like, let's just stop trying. And he was like, I came to the sense that I thought it was me, that I was the problem, for the simple fact that I knew that it wasn't him the problem, because he has 2 older children. So he already has kids. So I'm just looking at myself like, wow, like, this is like my fault. Like, I can't have kids. Like, I'm never gonna be a mom. Like, that's all I've ever wanted, was to be a mom. Like, how can I go on in life without being a mom? And it got so bad that, I hate having these flashbacks, but it got so bad that when it was my time of the month, I would hope not to get my period, just for the hope of me getting pregnant. And I was never like an on-time person with my stuff, so It was always like a up and down, up and down, up and down, and I never really knew. But when I did receive my friend for the time of the month, I would literally bawl crying, like crying in the bathroom. And my sisters would be like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm crying because you guys just don't understand. This is so frustrating. Like, I just want to have a baby. I just want to have a baby. I just want to have a baby." And I would cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. And so it was very frustrating. I then came to my senses, like me talking to him, and we was just like, you know, maybe it's not the time. Maybe, you know, maybe it's you just need to get checked out. Came back to that same conclusion, but I didn't want to hear that. No woman wants to hear or think that they cannot have kids. Like, that is what a woman, you as a woman think that you're here for, to have children. Like, you are put on this earth, you are a woman, you're supposed to develop and be able to create a human and then pop them out and be the best mom in the world. Boom, we just stopped trying. Then 2015 passed, so I got pregnant with my first pregnancy 2013. Then I got pregnant in 2014. Those were the 2 miscarriages. Then 2015 passed, I didn't get pregnant at all. 2016 came, and this was in July for our 5th anniversary. We had planned to go to the Dominican Republic to visit his family. The week prior to the weekend we left. And I was just feeling off. Like, I was like, this is not normal. Like, I don't feel like myself. Like, something's wrong. So I went over to his mom's house. I had just told him, like, I feel off, I think I'm pregnant. I was just like, can you buy me a pregnancy test? And he was like, I am not buying you the pregnancy test. We'll get it when we come back. And I was like, me thinking, like, if I am pregnant, I do not want to go to DR and freaking drink and risk everything because I've already had such a bad history. So he was like, I'm not buying you the pregnancy test. And I was like, all right, so then don't. But I really wanted, like, to communicate it with him, but it wasn't that he didn't want me to be pregnant. It was just that he wanted this trip to happen so badly because we had been planning it for so long. So I was like, there's no rule that says that the man has to buy the pregnancy test. I went to the 99-cent store and I bought myself a pregnancy test. And I literally can remember this like it was yesterday. And I came home, and when I was home, my mom and my grandma were in the living room. And I literally like rushed past them and I went to the restroom. And I bought my cup. I peed in my cup, I did my little thing, I put the 2 drops. They said, I read the box and it said, you have to wait 2 minutes before the results come up. When I tell you that I did these drops and I placed it down right next to me, by the time that I like got myself together, 2 lines popped up. Like, it was bright red. Not no like, oh, there's a faint line. No, 2 lines. Like, yes, sis, you are. And I literally like was like, like in the back of my mind, I wanted to like not get too excited because of what has happened in the past. And in the past, I didn't ever like take a pregnancy test. I was just off so much with the cycle that I would wait so long that by the time I did realize I was pregnant, I was already having a miscarriage. So when I actually took a test and I caught it, I was like, I wanted to jump, I wanted to scream. And a little later after I took the test, my sister was, when I was taking the test, my baby sister had gotten home, so she was in her room. And my baby sister had put up a post on Facebook that said, one day I'll be the greatest aunt, or something like that, something that has to do with like nieces and nephews. And she had tagged me on it, and I had to tell somebody. Like, I wanted to tell my boyfriend first, but I just had to tell somebody right then and there. Like, I had to tell somebody. So I go into her room and I'm like, hey, do you remember that post that you put up last week on Facebook? And she was like, yeah. I was like, so your wish is gonna come sooner than you think. And she was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, I'm pregnant. And she was like, oh, you're pregnant? You're pregnant? I think she was more excited than I was. And she even cried. She was crying and it was crazy. But at that moment, I didn't want to tell my mom or my grandma. I didn't want to tell anybody else until I had told my boyfriend. But I at least got it out to one person, which was my baby sister. So the way I told my boyfriend was, I took a picture of the test and I sent it to him. Like, I didn't even say anything. I just sent it to him. We were on the phone and I was like, hey, I gotta send you something. And I hung up and I sent him the picture. And he was like, what is that? Like, bro, you have 2 older kids. Like, I know you know what that is. And he was like, I know what it is, but okay, well, what is it? I'm like, oh my God, this man. So I was like, I'm pregnant. He was like, you're pregnant? I was like, yes, I'm not gonna send you a picture of a pregnancy test if I am not pregnant. So he was like, what? Wow, that's crazy. Like, he wasn't disappointed, but he wasn't as excited as you would expect your partner to be, for the simple fact that I've already had 2 prior miscarriages and we had this vacation planned. And we were just talking about how much we're gonna drink and how we're gonna go out and how we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that and all these activities that we were gonna do that now I cannot do because I'm restricted because I'm pregnant. So he was, you know, he was like, oh my God, it's crazy. Well, you know, God willing, everything works out, whatever. So that's how I found out about my first pregnancy. Luckily, everything went well. My pregnancy was great, except that I can never say it, just gestational diabetes. I had diabetes with my pregnancy, so I didn't have to inject any insulin or anything. I was actually on a pill that would control it. I had to watch my diet. I couldn't eat all the things that I was craving. Everything was about portions, so it was like a little bit of rice here, a little bit of pizza here. I couldn't eat like a whole pie like I was doing before because I used to eat. It was just it was hard to have diabetes while pregnant because of all the cravings and stuff that you have. Jay was actually 39 weeks 6 days when I was induced. I was induced since I had the diabetes, and I loved being induced. So with my second son, he was not planned at all. I was on the NuvaRing, which was birth control. Javian was almost 4 months when I found out. So Javian was 3.5 months when I found out that I was pregnant with my second son. He wasn't planned. We're not gonna say he was a mistake, because no kid is a mistake. He was just a very big surprise. So this is how I knew something was off with me again. I had at McDonald's because I wanted a Big Mac. Like, I just wanted a freaking Big Mac. Like, I needed the sauce, the sandwich. I just needed it. Like, I was like craving it. Like, I was like, I'm getting my period. Like, I need to eat. Like, people like chocolate when they're getting their stuff. No, I wanted this Big Mac. And as a mom, you don't ever sit down and eat a hot meal, but I needed to sit down and eat this and enjoy it and like savor, like enjoy every single bite. Like, that's just how I felt. This is how I knew I was off. I asked my sisters, can y'all hold the baby? And they were like, yeah, just give us a minute. And I was like, yo, like, y'all not doing nothing. Like, just hold the baby so that I can eat my sandwich. My mom was in the kitchen. She was cooking, so I couldn't ask my mom. So I go to the kitchen, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, nobody ever wants to help me. They always help me. Always. I just want to eat a damn sandwich, and I can't even eat a sandwich. Da, da, da. My baby sister gets annoyed when I do that, so she came, and she took the baby from me. She was like, go eat your food. So I go and I eat my food. She was like, you acting just like you was acting when you was pregnant with Jay, whatever. And that's when a little thing went off on my head. And I was like, yo, I'm late. Certain birth control pill that you take when you're breastfeeding. So I was taking that one, and then I had stopped breastfeeding, so I had to switch off to the NuvaRing. With the NuvaRing, if nobody knows, you have to put it in yourself, and your body heat sends out the hormones for 3 weeks, and then the week that you're supposed to get your menstrual, you take it out, and it's out for that whole week. When I took it out, I was waiting, and it was 2 weeks, and I still didn't have it. 3 weeks, and I still didn't have it, but I wasn't paying attention to it because I was so occupied with everything happening with my son. And the problem with me not sticking with the pill was that I would forget to take my pill. And I would tell my boyfriend, like, remind me to take the pill because I have my mind everywhere. He would forget to tell me to. Like, I'm just going to do the NuvaRing. I did it all throughout high school. Nothing ever happened, so I'm good. Yeah, right. I was like, ding, a light went off on my head. I was like, I'm going to the 99-cent store. And I was texting my best friend. And I was like, yo, I think I'm pregnant. And she was like, there's no way, bro. Like, you just gave birth to JD. And I was like, nah, I think I'm pregnant. Like, I'm acting very, like, bitchy. I'm, like, hungry all the freaking time. I'm tired. Like, and she was like, no, it's just because you're a new mom and you're adjusting, you know, like, you're not pregnant. Yeah, right. I went, I took my test while everybody was at work. And I was pregnant. Those 2 lines came up and all I did was literally that. Like, I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I can't have another kid. Like, this is too much. Javian isn't even crawling yet. Like, he doesn't even have teeth. He's like nothing. Like, he's still like a baby. Like, this is crazy. I'm gonna have Irish twins. I can't do this. When I tell ya that thoughts that I would never think would pass through my mind passed. Like, I was like, I'm getting an abortion. I don't believe in it, but this is too hard. Like, I cannot do this. I cannot have another kid in my mom's house. Like, how am I supposed to do this? Like, financially, like, this is gonna be too hard. Like, I can't. I cried. Like, I cried like a baby. I was literally crying, not in front of Javian because I don't like to cry in front of my kids. So I was just bawling in the bathroom while he was sleeping. I was just like, this can't be, this can't be, this can't be. I FaceTime my best friend and I'm like, guess what? And this was on a Thursday. And I know it was on a Thursday because on Thursday she works around my house. And I was like, guess what? And she was like, what? And I was like, I'm pregnant. She was like, you're lying. You're effing lying. Send me a picture. So I had gone to the nail salon and I had these bright orange nails and I had taken the picture. Boom. And I took the picture and I sent it to her and I was like, and she was like, she calls me right away and she's like, you're not lying. Like, I see your nail polish. Like, this is a new test. I'm like, yes, this is a new test. I have no reason to lie to you. I am pregnant again. She was like, oh my God, JD, Noni. Oh my God, Noni. Noni. And I'm like, I don't want to hear, oh my God, Noni. I don't want to hear that. Like, I am pregnant again. Now what? And she was like, when I get off of work, we're going to meet up. And, you know, we're going to go talk and whatever, whatever. And she was all for it. She was just like, pro have the baby. Like, she already had a daughter. And her daughter was 1 at the time. Yeah, because her and Javian are a year apart. A year and a half apart. And she was like, you're gonna have the baby, it's gonna be okay, don't worry, you know, your family's gonna help you. And I was like, I cannot have this baby. I cannot have another baby. Javian is only 3 months. I cannot. Like, I was walking around with Javian in a baby carrier and I was freaking pregnant. I was like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. And she's like, no, just talk to your mom. Then I was like, damn, now I gotta tell my mother I'm pregnant again. How am I gonna be pregnant again and bring another baby into this freaking home with my mother, my 2 sisters, my stepfather, and my son? How? All the thoughts that you would think that would run through somebody's head when they don't want a kid was what was passing through my head. Like, I thought about adoption. I was like, I'm gonna have this baby, I'm gonna give it up for adoption. It was just a hot mess. It was bad. It was really bad. Like, the reaction that I had with Javian was definitely not the reaction that I had with my second son. But then I was thinking to myself, like, I struggled so much to try and have a baby, and now I am being blessed with another one. And then even the thought of maybe I'm just gonna have a miscarriage, because I called Javian my miracle baby because of everything that I had. And then I was like, maybe with this back-to-back, my body hasn't, you know, fully healed from Javian, so I'll probably just have a miscarriage. Like, these were the thoughts that were going through my head. And I, to this day, feel very guilty about it. Like, I would never want to tell my second son this story because it just sounds so bad. But yeah, it was bad. And then I waited a week to tell my mom. And since I had the picture saved with my best friend that I had sent to her, my mom was like, I had told her, I was like, Mom, I think I'm pregnant. Like, I'm really off. I haven't got my period. I'm late. She was like, okay, well, let's hope not. Take a test. and then, you know, sent it to me. And a few hours later, then I had called her and I was like, I took the test, and she was like, and what was it? I was like, I'm gonna send you the picture. And that was it. She was like, but is it positive? And I was like, I'm just gonna send you the picture, and that's it. I sent this lady the picture. As soon as it said delivered, she called me. She was like, ¿y ahora? I was like, no, that's what I'm asking you. ¿Y ahora? What am I gonna do? I told her the same thing, that I couldn't have the baby, that I was thinking about adoption. She was like, pero muchacha, para eso tú me das a mí el muchacho y yo la do. What you talking about? Dije adoption. And I was like, I'm gonna give it to somebody that can't have kids. Like, I can't. She was like, so then I'm gonna adopt the baby. And I was like, that's mad stupid. I'm gonna live with my son, that's my brother, because you adopted him? No, for that I just keep my kid. She's like, just have the baby. It's another blessing. It's a blessing. Any baby is a blessing. You're not getting an abortion. You're not giving it up for adoption. That's it. Oh, I didn't say my boyfriend's reaction. He was like, you cannot have this kid. He was like, you cannot have this kid. Texted him the picture. And then he FaceTimes me. And then we were texting and he was like, oh, con razón que tú estás tan bonita y jodiéndome tanto. Like, I would pick on him. So he was like, I knew something was up with you. But he was like, we cannot have another kid. We cannot. And he doesn't believe in abortions either. But it was just too much. Like, come on. Our youngest is, like, his youngest, my oldest is, my only child is 3 months. Like, how are we gonna do it? I spoke to him and I was like, hey, I'm keeping the baby. You could be there if you want, and if you don't want to, then whatever, I'll just do it on my own. And he was like, I already knew you was keeping the baby. Like, we know what you've been through, and of course I'm gonna be there because I'm the dad and me and you are together. Like, they're literally gonna be a year and a month apart. And that's exactly how it was. And, you know, once I spoke to my mom, and I had my mom's support and I had everybody else's support. I made my decision and I decided to, you know, have my baby. Best decision I ever made. I love my son. I love both my kids. I can't picture my life without them because that's just my life. And my sister, my baby sister, I told my middle sister first. My little sister first. And she was like, what? That's crazy. You pregnant again? Damn, Noni. That's OD. That was her reaction. That's just the type of person she is. My baby sister cried, but not cried because she was happy. She cried because she was like, WTF, are you effing kidding me? Type of cry. So it was just a lot going on. Definitely my reaction with my second pregnancy news was not as the same as the first one. But nonetheless, I have my 2 boys. I am dealing with my 2 kids under 2. The help is not as much as it was with Javian because people do their own things. And it is a lot. Nobody likes to stay with 2 kids under 2 because it's a lot of responsibility. Like, I already have the hang of it. Like, I'm hands-on with my 2 boys. They nap at the same time. They do everything at the same time because I already have them on the schedule. But when other people stay with my boys, it's a little different because, you know, they're not used to that. So it is hard. It is difficult. My mom still doesn't want me to move out with my 2 kids. She's like, you cannot take those kids away from me. And I'm just like, we need to go. Like, Javian is getting a little older, then baby S is gonna get older, and it's just gonna be too crowded in a room with those 2 boys. I have taken over my mom's living room with strollers and toys and stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be okay. So that is how I found that I was pregnant, and those were my reactions. And so that's the way the cookie crumbled. And like I said, I have my 2 boys. I'm very happy with my 2 boys. I love my 2 boys. And yeah, I know it's a long video, but I wanted to share my story since somebody had requested it. And that's about it. Now I need some more suggestions on what videos I should do. Please let me know if maybe I should vlog a little bit of my life. I'm mostly home with the boys, but I do go out and I try to do some activities. If you guys want me to start vlogging, especially like maybe do like boyfriend tag with my boyfriend so you guys can meet him and stuff like that, I would love to do that as well. So any ideas that you guys have, any comments that you guys have about my video, about my experience, or if anybody's going through it, please comment down below. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe so that you guys can continue to hear my ranting on all of the stuff that I have gone through and I am still going through. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.